Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the ATV revolution. It's been a while since I've been down here, but that's all right. We'll get right back into it here. I hope you guys are doing well. I know this virus stuff is really just throwing off a lot of shit. But you know what, man? That's all right. We're going to get through it. We'll get through it together. We're going to keep making content, and everybody's going to be just fine. So yeah, we're going to pick up right where we left off. We took off last week, and we're starting a little bit late this week, too. But we're going to do another bike of the week here. This is another hybrid quad. I thought this one was really cool. It's a YFZ450 hybrid. I know we did a YFZ450 hybrid previously, and that one was really cool. It was built for freestyle motocross. If you haven't seen that one, definitely check it out. You can check out my boy Stitch, who's been working on his tricks and everything. But this is a different one here, and it's a little bit of a different concept. I'm going to pull up a picture for you. It is another YFZ450, first gen. But it has a TRX250R motor in it, which is a little bit different than the build that we saw before. That didn't have a TRX motor in it. What's interesting about this one is that it probably flows a little bit nicer and probably rides a little bit nicer than the other one. Not to say anything less about the other YFZ build. It's just that the TRX250R motor has a counterbalancer in it. And the purpose of that is, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, that counterbalancer translates to less vibrations in a four-wheeler. So it has to do with, I guess, physics. When you have four wheels and a larger frame, a lot of vibrations from the motor transfer through the bike and go to the handlebars. That's why dirt bikes don't really require a counterbalancer. You don't get a lot of those vibrations and stuff. But when you take a two-stroke power plant from a dirt bike and throw it into a quad, you get a ton of vibrations. So they perform really well, but they can be really harsh on you. So the subscriber that sent this build in, his name is JD, and I'll put his Instagram tag right here. It's a really nice build. He didn't actually convert this YFZ to the TRX250R motor. He actually bought it this way, and then he built up the motor and he added some modifications and stuff. And the thing has actually been featured in Dirt Wheels magazine. And it's also been featured on their social media more than once. So in the article from Dirt Wheels, I read through that, and interestingly enough, they say the same thing that I was just kind of mentioning. Basically that this power plant in the YFZ is going to be a very nice, controllable ride. Because a lot of times what people will transfer over are big bore two-strokes, like a CR500 or a KX500, which is badass in its own right, for sure. But those things are vile, man. I don't know if I'd want to take that thing on a motocross track, or you know, if you're just casually riding it, that's probably going to be pretty harsh on you. And it's just like, you got to be able to hold on, man. A CR500 motor, KX500 motor, that's like extreme power. So this platform is probably a lot more like a TRX250R. It probably runs really well. Those original YFZ450s were great handling quads. It'd be interesting to see if it actually handles better than a plain TRX250R. I don't know. They're both really good handling quads. It'd be cool to ride it, that's for sure. So kind of like we normally do, I'm going to take you through these pictures right here on my computer. This is a finalized picture of the quad, and I'll tell you what, he did a really good job with it. Even though JD didn't construct this quad, all the other modifications that he did, he put these hyper beadlocks on here. He did the graphics kit is custom. Apparently that's I don't know if that's his business or he just works there on the side. But he had those graphics custom printed at a company that he works with or works at. Did a really nice job. You can see it says YFZ250R on there. Pretty badass. He's got the Bill's pipe on there. It's just a clean looking quad. It flows very nicely. Here you can see Dirt Wheels featured it on, it looks like their Facebook page. They did it twice actually. Yamaha. Pretty cool though. This is before his graphics kit and stuff. I think this might be with the previous owner. Not sure. And this is what it looked like when he bought it. So you can see there's no nerf bars on it. It's got the OEM rims. It looks very stock. If Yamaha was to make a 250 two-stroke and a YFZ platform, that's probably what it would look like from the factory. If the pipe was flat black, I could see that. There it is up on the stand. Very clean looking bike. I really like it. Oh, I'm just noticing this now. Is that a 250R in the background? I don't know. Some full bore plastics. You didn't tell me about that one, JD. So he's definitely got good taste in quads, that's for sure. And here's a shot of the motor. He's got a couple shots in here where you can see the construction. We're going to kind of have to guess at how this thing was built because we didn't get any build pictures. It looks like it was pretty straightforward though, and I think some of these pictures, the guy that built it sent it to him, and then JD sent them to me because some of them the motor mounts aren't welded in, and then like this picture, you can see a block of wood under here. I think this is actually mocking up the motor in the frame. And I think from the looks of it, and you don't know, and that's the beauty of a hybrid build. When you do a really good job on it, you can't even tell if it was supposed to be that way or not. I'm pretty familiar with YFZ450s though. I don't think the frame was heavily modified. If you look in this picture here, you can see this piece of steel. It's not welded in yet, so I'm pretty sure these are pictures from the original owner or the guy that built it. This back one looks like it's welded in. But it looks like it lined up in the swing arm pretty nicely. And I was looking at pictures of where the carb sits. Here's another picture of the motor mount. You can see it welded down here. But the way that the carb sits in here, I'll see if I can find it in another picture. I don't think any major modifications needed to be done to the frame, which is cool. So the geometry between the Honda motor and the YFZ frame actually looks like it flowed together pretty nicely. Really looks clean with that pipe. Boom, all dirty. So he definitely takes it riding, that's for sure. And there it is, all cleaned up. I'd love to rip this thing, man. This thing probably runs awesome. So after JD bought the quad, like I said, he did a couple modifications. He put the Nerf bars on there. You got those Maxxis Razr 2s. And I have a list right here. You got a 302cc big bore sleeve from LA Sleeve. I guess he had the cylinder sleeve. Put all new bearings and seals in the lower end. Put the Bills pipe and silencer on. The custom decal kit that he had printed. GTYR Nerf bars and heel guards. Great look. Put a +3 rear sprocket on there. The hyper beadlocks with the Maxxis Razr 2s. Precision Racing Products Pro Stabilizer. That's a key point right there. Probably makes it handle amazing. Got the Pro Taper bars, Trailtech Voyager computer. That's pretty cool. And clamp on grips. So basic stuff, but that's like really nice riding stuff. If you've ever built a quad, there's certain mods, just mild stuff, that makes it really enjoyable to ride, and it really changes the dynamics of the quad. As simple as the Pro Taper bars and the clamp on grips, because that's where you're actually contacting the bike. That's like my #1 thing, man. When I used to buy and resell quads and dirt bikes, my #1 thing was bars and grips and levers and adjusting them properly. When you do that, it's the difference between wearing a pair of pants that's nice and wearing a pair of pants that's nice, that's the right size. It just makes all the difference in the world. So he built this thing for the trails. He lives in Missouri. You can see here, I think this is the old crank, I would assume anyway. And you can see, pull it apart, you got all that like sludge and stuff in there. You got a Hot Rods crank, I think. He doesn't say, but I do believe that it looks like a Hot Rods crank to me. Here's that bottom end all cleaned up. He's got new bearings in there. And then you got the ESR quick change cover. That looks really nice. So here is after the motor's in there. He's doing some work to it. Really looks clean. I'm trying to look up in this area to see if any modifications were done to the frame there, because that would be like major modifications, and that's usually what has to happen. If you guys saw the TRX250R that was converted using a TRX250R motor, that had some major modifications where the frame had to be chopped. It doesn't look like that was the case here, which is cool. This is a nice shot of the motor. And you can see, it's not a beauty queen. This quad is used, man. It's used and ridden. He's got some rub from the kicker, some, the frame is marked up and stuff, but it's just a really cool build. I like these graphics, dude. Cancer sucks. I love it. Here's another shot, giving you a good angle of those motor mounts. Looks pretty simple, man. And I like this too. This fender bracket. I like that he kept the fender bracket on there. He kept the full fenders. A lot of times when guys do mods, like major modifications like this, especially if it's a two-stroke conversion, a lot of times the plastics go by the wayside. They get chopped, shaved, or they just look they just don't look right. Like, you can tell it's a hybrid build. But he has this custom mount here, it goes around the expansion chamber, and it looks OEM. I think that looks really good. Another shot of the lower motor mounts. And here it is outside. It looks good, man. I really like this quad. Definitely a solid build. I'm gonna play a clip of the quad idling here in a second and a nice little walk around. Unfortunately, there's no riding footage, but JD said he's gonna try to get out this weekend and film some riding on this quad. Unfortunately, he said he's the guy that's usually filming, and I can totally understand where you're coming from, dude. Always filming other people and not getting any film of yourself. So he's going to try to get some film of him riding, and so that won't be in this video. He's trying to get that this weekend. So what I'll do is I'll have a follow-up. You guys can follow me on Instagram at Sabo350, and I will have a follow-up if he sends me that footage of him actually riding the quad, which would be really cool to see this thing rip. I'm going to play a clip right here of another YFZ450 that I found converted, ripping, and dude, this thing moves. I'm just going to do a quick clip, but just to give you an idea how these things run, it's an awesome conversion. All right, so I know this was kind of on the shorter side. I didn't get too many pictures and stuff, but it's definitely a cool build. Thank you, JD, for taking the time to put this stuff together. It's an awesome quad. He said he's obsessed with it, and I'll tell you what, man, if I had this quad, I'd be obsessed with it too. So let us know in the comment section below if you would build a quad like this, or if you would do a different kind of hybrid. Let me know how you would do it. Before I wrap this video up, I did want to give you guys a couple updates on what's going on. That YZ125 that I broke out the other day, that's going to be a really awesome project. I started working on the budget for that thing. I got everything laid out in the garage, as you guys saw, and I kind of went through things, took inventory of what parts are needed and everything, and I made an expense list. It's looking like it's probably going to be a little bit more than $1,000. It doesn't have to be. If I wanted to, I could get that thing together probably for under 500. But we're going to do some cool stuff to it, you know? We got to. This is what we do, man. So we're going to do, it's probably going to be more like $1,000 to $1,500. I'm going to do a budget video soon. I think the next video is probably going to be on the Can-Am. I've been working on that in the background. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And then we're going to do a budget video on the YZ125. But what's really cool about the YZ125, man, and this really just touches me because it's basically going to be like a subscriber / my build. What's really cool about this, after I posted that, I had a couple subscribers reach out to me. Johnny Sprockets, who's an OG, I met him out at the Pocono Drag Racing event. Really awesome guy. He's like, dude, send me that pipe. I can fix the dents and stuff. So we're going to save money right there. That was like it'd be about $330 for a new system. He said he can get the dents and stuff out of that pipe. I don't know if it's going to be perfect, but we'll make it nice. He's got one of those kits that you put compressed air on both sides, and then you heat it up with a torch, and it pops out the dents. That'll be really cool to see how we can get those dents out and stuff. And then I found a used Pro Circuit silencer. We could run that OEM silencer that came with it, and it has a dent in it, it looks like. I think that's actually OEM. I was looking at some ones on eBay. It looks like they all have that dent, so that's probably a spot that's actually supposed to be like that. But it would be I'd really like to put a little Pro Circuit shorty on there. I found one for $70. So the cost for the exhaust is now going to be $70 instead of $330. So we saved money there. And I'm thinking about getting some aftermarket wheels. I found a really killer deal on them. So I will get more in depth on that in another video. But also, I had Nick Maddox. If you guys remember him, he actually was featured for Bike of the Week. He had a CR 250 that he rebuilt, and I'll show you a picture right here, an update of the Jeff Stanton graphics that he had not yet put on in that video. He did finally put them on. The bike looks badass. Dude, he reached out to me and he asked if I wanted to have some of my parts vapor blasted. So he's at home right now, school is out and everything with this virus. He's like, dude, I got time on my hands. He said, send me some parts and I can vapor blast them for you. So you guys know I like to typically do my own work and show you guys, but I think it would be really cool to send some of the parts to Nick, have him vapor blast them. We'll have Johnny do the pipe, and it'll kind of be, like I said, like a subscriber collaboration for the YZ build. I just think that's really cool. So I'm really excited about that. I think that bike's going to be awesome, and I do plan to actually take that riding after it's done. We're probably going to sell it, but I would like to ride it around a little bit. It'll be neat to do a 125. So as far as the Can-Am, I started tearing that apart. It's up in the garage right now in like a million pieces, and I'll tell you what, man, that thing is a pain in the ass. It's like working on a car. Taking off the fenders is not as easy as a quad, where, you know, in 15 minutes you can have it totally stripped down. It's a bear getting that stuff apart, and it's kind of like hacked together. None of the original fasteners are there, and I'm kind of figuring it out as I'm going. It's a hack job, dude. You guys are gonna love it. So I have a lot of wiring and stuff to do on that. You know, fortunately, it's probably not going to cost me anything but time. But I love doing stuff like that, man. It's really cool when you get something to kind of go over it and see all the problems and stuff. And we're going to fix everything. I'm taking that stupid snorkel system off. It's got to go, man. A lot of cool stuff coming with that. So that's going to be on Friday's video. I appreciate you guys watching. I love all you guys. I hope you guys are staying busy. For all of you guys that are still working, that's awesome. But I know a lot of people are trapped at home and they're really bored. So like I said, guys, we're going to get through this together. Please give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this content. Definitely check out your Mike Sabo merch. All the proceeds go to helping out the channel. I appreciate all you guys, and I will see you guys on Friday.